Hello and welcome to another candle review video. Now it's been an awful long time since my last video, and for that I do apologise. The reason being is the past year I've not really bought so many candles. I had a bit of an epiphany, and I kind of went into my upstairs room where I keep all my candles and thought, wow, you have an awful lot of candles, you really don't need to buy any more. So I've been kind of burning through a lot of my older candles, so I've not really bought too much. Another reason why I've not really done much review is before I would buy in a lot of Yankee, Kringle, Bath and Body Works from America, but I realised that it's actually quite expensive to do, and I just thought there's better things I could spend my money on, and I've got enough candles as it is. So from here on in, I won't be really reviewing any Yankee candle. There might be the odd Bath and Body Works, the odd Kringle. I've kind of gone off Yankee candle over the past year. I've been smelling the scents that are available in the UK, and nothing's really excited me enough to buy it. So I've kind of moved on from them. But like I said, there might be the odd American candle coming through, but from here on in I'm going to review more British candles that I can freely buy in this country. I don't have to import. So if you are here for Yankee, I'm afraid I won't be reviewing them anymore. Please feel free to check out the thousands of other reviewers on YouTube who do a much better job than I do of reviewing those candles. I will now be sticking purely to more local brands. But if that interests you, then please stick around. You might find a candle that is right up your street. This next set of candles I'm going to review are more spring-based candles. Now, from previous videos, you might have realised that I don't really do spring and summer that much. My time is autumn and winter. But there are some scents that I do enjoy over the spring and the summer. I've come to love floral fragrances a little bit more than what I used to. So there'll be a few of those in this video. I'm going to be reviewing companies by True Grace, The White Company, Parks, and a new one called Plum Ashby, which you might not be so au fait with. So we're going to start with True Grace, a favourite of mine, as you well know. This is Posy, available in the Walled Garden range, so in tin candles. This has a really lovely floral springtime fragrance to it. It's got notes of rose and jasmine and orange blossom and moss. So there's a greeny smell to it, but it's also very floral. The rose and the jasmine really come through. And perfect for spring. It's been a very long and cold winter here, which I don't usually mind. But it's meant that spring has kind of been delayed, and it's only really in the past couple of weeks it's only really started to feel like spring. So I've been kind of very sparingly burning these candles because it has felt so cold. I've been kind of still burning winter candles, which I usually wouldn't burn, into April and May. I'd usually have stopped burning them in February. So Posy is a real nice refresher to get away from those woody, smoky, spicy smells of winter. It's a lovely floral scent, and it just welcomes spring. It makes you feel like, oh, nice weather is on its way. It's going to be very warm soon. This is a very strong candle as well. I mean, it is quite small, compared to some of the other candles I'm going to be reviewing in a second. But it throws absolutely perfectly. I can put this in my living room, and within half an hour you can smell the Posy scent. It's a really lovely smell. True Grace do so many different floral scents, so you could really pick and choose. If this isn't your cup of tea, then they do hyacinth, they do geraniums, they do different types of rose candles. They also do lots of herbal fragrances, which I always think are quite good for spring as a kind of refresher after all the scents of winter. So yeah, that is Posy by True Grace, a really nice candle. The next one I'm going to review is a new one for me, The White Company Vine Tomato. Now, I was kind of introduced to White Company over Christmas. I bought a couple of their small votive candles, and the White Company is quite expensive, I will tell you that now. I got these on sale, and they were quite nice. I had to move them into a smaller space because being a votive, they struggled obviously to fill a large room. But in a small space, they worked quite well. So I thought, I'm going to invest in one of their big candles because they don't really do too many candle sizes. It's usually the votive, a jar candle, and then a 3-wick jar candle. So I thought I'd try the 3-wick. This is, I believe, a limited edition fragrance, Vine Tomato. It's quite a hefty, large candle. As you can see, I've burnt it quite a lot. Now this is, for me, is such a springtime smell. I work in a garden centre, and the different plants and flowers that arrive season on season really now start to help me connect with spring and summer. So when I see the tomato plants arrive, it's spring. When I see geraniums and dahlias arrive, it's summer. And when I see, Michaelmas daisies arrive, it's autumn. And chrysanthemums as well. So, the smell of tomato and vine tomato really makes me think of spring. I'm not even a tomato person. I don't like tomatoes, but I love the smell because it's not like tomato soup or tomato ketchup. It's just a really pungent green odour, and it makes you think of, spring and all the plants starting to unfurl and everything growing. And this is an amazingly strong candle. It has 3 wicks, so obviously it does help, pump the smell a lot more stronger in the room than a single wick candle. But this really does work in filling the room. They are expensive. I think I bought this a couple of months ago now, but I think it was about £60. But usually if you sign up with the White Company, you'll get a 15% coupon every now and again. So I use that on the candles, so it brings it down to about 52, which is still a bit expensive, but I wouldn't be buying a White Company candle every week. I would be buying one probably once a season. So, I won't buy one until I finish this, and I've still got quite a good way to go. So actually, I probably might even skip summer. My next White Company candle might not be until autumn. I said they are new to me. I'm not really used to their range yet, but they seem to do, a generic range which is available all year round. And then they do seasons. You can get a spring candle, a summer candle, an autumn candle, and a winter candle. And then they also do, Christmas candles and things like that. So I'm looking forward to autumn and winter and seeing what they produce and what I could possibly get to like. But this is really lovely. If you love tomato, and tomato really seems to be the fragrance of the year, really. You're seeing a lot more candle companies producing tomato fragrance candles. So, a really nice candle. I really, really enjoy it. It's lovely. The next candle I'm going to review is a brand new candle company for me. I only discovered it earlier this year. It's Plum and Ashby. And I think they are down in the south of England. I just happened to discover one of their candles earlier this year called Fireside Embers. Now, as you know, I love smoky fireside scents. And I gave it a go and couldn't smell anything. Absolutely nothing. It's very strong on cold smell, which really surprised me when I burnt it. Nothing. So I got in contact with the company, and they very kindly got me to send the candle back. They paid the postage. They agreed with me that the candle wasn't as good as what it should be, and they offered me a refund, or I could replace it. So I thought, well, as we were going into spring, I would choose a more springtime candle and maybe go back to Fireside Embers later in the year. So this is the one I chose. It was vetiver and lavender. Vetiver, I believe, is a root of a type of grass, and they extract the oil, and it's kind of a woodsy smell. Lavender obviously is a lovely summer herbal fragrance, so I thought it sounded a good mix. I absolutely love lavender, and I love woody fragrances. And this performed beautifully. So the moral of the story is, if you get a candle that doesn't perform well, then don't be afraid to send it back, especially if it's a more higher priced luxury candle. You've paid good money for it, you expect a certain amount of quality, so don't be afraid to contact the company. Usually these companies will bend over backwards to help you because they don't want negative press or reviews. But back to the candle. It's a bit like True Grace in their style, the smoky glass candle. And this is really nice. It's almost a soapy quality to it, and I believe that's the lavender. But yeah, the herbalness of the lavender and the woodiness of the vetiver come through. And it's kind of perfect for spring, because you've got the lavender, which says that, you know, summer's on its way, you know, these gorgeous floral scents are on their way, but you've also got the woodiness of the vetiver, which can kind of make you feel more comfortable and warm. So on those chilly days you do get in spring sometimes, especially in the evenings, it can remind you that, you know, winter has just gone. There is still a bit of cold in the air, but lavender tells you that summer is on its way, so get ready to look forward to nicer days. So in that way it really works as an interim candle, you know, between winter going into spring and then into summer. So they're a new candle company for me. I don't know too much about them, but looking on their website, they do some really nice, you know, some lovely scented candles: eucalyptus, bergamot, fireside embers, ancestral rose. So I think this will probably be my only purchase at the moment, and then come autumn and winter, I'm going to see what else they release and see if there's anything I like. You know, if they're already on my plus side by doing fireside embers, I'm hoping to get that one again, and hopefully it'll work better for me this time. You know, sometimes these things happen. You know, candles are made in such huge batches. It's only inevitable that possibly one or two might not get as much fragrance as the others. So you have to forgive them sometimes. The next candle is an American one, actually. So I didn't know whether to review this because although I really enjoy it, when I just before I was making this video, I went onto the website and it wasn't actually on there. So I'm assuming it's not available anymore. But I did find it on eBay. So if you are in America, you might be able to find it a lot easier than what we would. It's Henri Bendel. The reason I review Henri Bendel is they are one of the few US companies that will actually ship to the UK. So I don't need to go through a forwarding company. This is Spring Meadow. I can only assume I bought this last autumn, possibly in some sort of sale, which is possibly why it's no longer available, because they were delisting it. It's a real shame they delisted it, because it's such a lovely fragrance. As the title suggests, Spring Meadow. It's a very grassy, meadowy kind of smell. You've also got flowers in there like bergamot, iris, jasmine. Once again, those spring, summery, floral fragrances, but mixed with grass. There is no better smell in summer than freshly mown grass, as far as I'm concerned. And just walking through a spring meadow is so lovely. You know, it really conjures up that essence of springtime freshness, rain on grass, dew, just lovely green notes. But whereas like the White Company's Vine Tomato is a pungent, strong green, this is delicate, this is floral, this is lovely, you know, walks in the countryside followed by a nice cup of tea somewhere. It's delicate, but it really, you know, brings the impression of spring. Much more better than some other candle companies do. This is the last one. It's Parks of London. Now, I only ever buy Parks from TK Maxx. If you go onto the Parks website, I believe they retail for about £30. But in TK Maxx, you can get them for £10. So, you know, it's a no-brainer. The only issue is if you fall in love with a particular scent, TK Maxx obviously might not always have that. Because I think these are kind of like stuff that have gone to other stores and have not sold on, so it's been passed on to TK Maxx to discount and sell. So you might not be able to get them. So if you do fall in love with the scent, you might have to go to the Parks website to get it. This is part of their aromatherapy range. It's chamomile, violet, oris, and honey. Once again, a little bit like True Grace and Plum Ashby. You know, this glass candle, nice and weighted, give it quite a profuse burn. And it's the chamomile and the honey that really come through quite strongly. I really quite like violet, and it's there, but it's not so strong. I say it's more the herbal chamomile and the very sweet honey that come through. But that really works for spring. You know, chamomile is now starting to, you know, be available in garden centres and shops. you know, chamomile lawns, when you tread on them, it releases that lovely sweet fragrance of chamomile. And, you know, floral scents just really do sum up spring, no matter what they are, or herbal. And this just smells lovely. I've burnt this quite profusely. It's very strong. It's a very sweet odour. It's not really green like Spring Meadow or Plum Ashby or Vine Tomato. It's more of a sweet and slightly herbal fragrance. Definitely give them a go if you can find them. Like I said, they would be available on their own website, but you would have to pay £30. But if you happen to find them in a TK Maxx or a Home Sense, then definitely go for it. That's your lot for this video. This wasn't really planned out very well video, so it might seem a bit rushed. I just thought I should make a bit of an effort. Hopefully I will do another video soon with more summer fragrances, more ozonic, more sea-scented candles. And then moving on from that, what I would like to do is a little bit ambitious, is do a 4-part autumn and winter video. So part 1 would focus on early autumn, late summer, with those harvest fragrances, berries, hay, all those lovely fragrances. Moving into part 2, which would be more October, November, woody bonfire smells with hints of spice. Video 3 would be purely Christmas, having a look at, you know, the different candle companies that maybe are featured in this video, White Company, True Grace, Plum Ashby. Focus on their Christmas releases, so you could pick the best one. And video 4 would be moving past Christmas into winter, so more you know, smoky but also pine freshy candles that are, you know, could be a Christmassy but also could be very much winter. It's a little bugbear of mine that as soon as Christmas is over, candle companies then seem to jump straight into spring and kind of miss winter, even though you might not necessarily be burning your Christmas candles past Christmas. So yeah, there'll be lots of different candles there, hopefully quite a few different candle companies as well. I've got a few good months now to try and research different candle companies, so hopefully you will find something you like. I hope you liked this video. So it was very quick. It was just a little hello, how are you again video. And I hope to see you soon. Thank you very much. Bye bye.